Lilia Greyrat is a maid of the Greyrat household. In her past, she was Paul Greyrat's classmate in a swordsman dojo before a crippling injury forces her to leave her position as a princess guard and she becomes a maid to Paul and Zenith Greyrat. After working through the revelation with the family, she is taken in as Paul's second wife and becomes closer friends with Zenith. Lilia has reddish-brown hair that is tied up in a half bun while she has chest-length hair strands resting on either side of her shoulders, violet-purple eyes, and she has a very slender and voluptuous body with very large breasts. She usually wears a maid outfit. She wears oval-shaped glasses and hairband having lace on both sides. Most of the time, Lilia is emotionless because of her training in becoming a maid, but shows more expressions after becoming Paul Greyrat's second wife. She believes in superstitions. Lilia was once a guard maid for Usura's concubine palace, usually doing a maid's job, but if there's anything that happens, they would pick a sword up to protect their master. Lilia faithfully accomplished her own duty. As a maid there were no complaints, but as a swords fighter, she only had average ability. Because of that, in a battle against the assassin who targeted the princess who was born not too long ago, from one moment of carelessness, she was slashed and injured on the leg by the opponent's short sword. Poison had been applied to the short sword. It was a poison specially made to assassinate royalty. There was no antidote or curing magic that could treat such a troublesome poison. The wound was immediately treated, thanks to the doctors trying out various methods to cure the poison, but even though her life was secured, there were side effects left from it. There were no problems in her everyday life, but she could never run or stomp with her full strength. The kingdom sacked her without hesitation. Lilia also accepted it. Losing her ability, it's a given to be sacked. Lilia left the capital. She always wondered why she, who had no background, was accepted in the concubine's palace. Then she finally understood why. They only wanted to hire a maid who could be used and then discarded. Changing horse carriages, she arrived at Fidoa on the far borders, which had extensive agricultural lands besides the citadel of Roa, the heart of this place where the ruler was living in. There were only extremely wide wheat fields, a quiet place. Lilia intended to find work here, but being injured, she was unable to find a job based on strength. It's possible to teach sword dueling, but it's best to be hired as a maid, because the salary is higher. If her salary was too low, there wouldn't be enough money sent to her family. Lilia came across an advertisement note. In Fidoa's village of Buna, a lower-class knight was hiring a maid. On the top of that, the note said it would give special priority to someone with experience in taking care of children and knowledge as a midwife. Paul Greyrat employed Lilia without any fuss. It seemed that his wife Zenith Greyrat was about to give birth, and he was very anxious. Lilia was fully taught in knowledge and technique for the princess's birth. Moreover, she was someone that he knew, and her birthplace was already known. Lilia was received with a warm welcome. Lilia's salary was more than what she had expected, and her wish was also achieved. The child was born. Lilia apparently has a desire for Rudius to show her daughter the same affection he shows to his wives. Lilia lost her virginity to Paul Greyrat when they were training at the dojo many years ago when Paul sexually assaulted her. In hindsight, however, she was glad it was to him rather than the fat nobles in the castle she worked at.